All right, everybody, what's up? I am Dr. Weber. I am a lecturer at university where I teach lifetime fitness and healthful living education. I'm going to go over a 30-minute workout today. It may get interrupted, but hopefully it doesn't. All right, so we're going to start with a little bit of soft tissue work before we get into our stretching and our strength work. And we will not do conditioning today together, but I will give you some conditioning protocols. All right, let's see here. All right, so let's just do a quick foam roll. Try to spend less than 5 minutes. What we're going to do is target the Achilles first and just kind of press the roller in sideways, up and down, and then work your way up to the calf. And then go from calf to Achilles, and then switch side, going from Achilles, working your way up to the gastroc or the soleus, pushing through and around, and we'll work our way to the glutes. Cross over, lean to that same side, and then we're going to kind of push into that hip with the roller in and around, and use that hand that is down for support to kind of work your way up and down. Switching side. And just focus on your breathing. If one area is tighter than another, you might want to just spend a little bit more time there. If there's a sweet spot or a spot that's just like, ooh, very sensitive, or feels like it feels good in a way, or if it feels painful, it hurts, then you want to stay away from it. Okay, sometimes I'll perform some hamstring stretches here. I'll just sit on the end of the roller, toes toward the sky, back straight, look straight ahead, and just breathe into that. And from here, I can bring the bottoms of my feet together for that butterfly position, where I can push each knee down here and just focus on my breathing. All right, from here, we're going to move to the lower back. It's going to get into a bridge position. Just rest it right on the lumbar or the back muscles on the lower side. And we're just going to shift from left to right so you can feel it in either side. Just focus on your breathing here. I like to bring one foot underneath one leg. I'll take one inhale, or I'll just kind of hold it there for just a little bit. And then I'll get out of that position and just slowly kind of work my way up the spine. From here, I'm just going to go toward the upper back and then protract my scapula or reach toward the sky. So that gives me a little bit more room to press into the scaps. I can stay in one side, go up and down in that area. I can also get a better pressure spot in the armpit and the lat, chest, and ribs, the muscles that are on top of those areas. And all those things need to move well. So pushing in these areas is a really good thing. It's going to definitely make you feel better when you're stretching, when you're working out. Let's go ahead and switch side. So not much more foam rolling for me, at least for this 30-minute workout, trying to spend less than 5 minutes rolling. And really just focusing on maybe a couple areas that are a little bit more tense than the others. So if you don't really feel anything, you don't have to stay as long on that area, or you need to try to find something in that area. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move to the thighs, inside of the thighs, from knee all the way to hip. Ooh, find a sweet spot. And switch. Again, knee to upper thigh. Find a sweet spot. Breathe. You can internally, externally rotate the hip here as you do that. And then go for both of the quads with the feet out. All right, so now we're going to move to our stretching. Start with the 90-90. Both knees at 90, hips at 90, and ankles at 90. We're going to look straight ahead with a straight back and lean over that knee. The chin is over the knee, looking straight ahead. Breathe into that. Inhale through your nose. Long exhale out. Then I'm going to bring both hands behind my body, rotate my hips and my shoulders toward that back leg. I'm going to feel it in this back hip now. I can squeeze the glute, look straight ahead, and relax and rotate. Squeeze, relax, and rotate. And then switching side. It's about 2 to 3 inhales on each side. Getting that back hip. Squeezing the glute. Rotating back. Squeezing the glute. Rotating back. Squeezing the glute. Good. From here, I'm just going to sit on those ankles. Spread the knees. Just rock side to side. We're going to curl the toes. Get in the hands and knees position. Rock back on your ankles so you feel a stretch in your toes. And then rock up the hands and knees. Do about 5 of those. 3, 4, 5. And then hips high, head through the shoulders. Inhale through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth. From here, what we're going to do is bring the knees down. Step 1 foot outside of the hand. Bring that back leg as far back as you can, and then we're going to rock toward that front leg and to the outside. Drop to the elbows. Take a couple more inhales and exhales. And then switch side. Just rocking out. Feeling it in that groin area, adductors. Then challenging by bringing those elbows down. But from here, let's go ahead and lay on the back. Start getting into some activation and strength, starting with some glute bridges. Toes up, squeeze the glutes, hold. Straight line from the knees to the shoulders. I'm going to hold for about 10 to 15 seconds. Keep those ribs down by exhaling as long as you can. And then slowly bring it down. This time we're going to bring one knee to chest. we're going to hold for about 10 to 15 seconds. Same thing. And then switch. About 3 inhales, 3 exhales. From here, we're just going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. Pull the knees toward the chest and the shoulders. And then hands on the inside, palms down, pull the knees toward the shoulders. Then bring the knees together, rock forward. I'm going to try a couple of those. We're going to rock back, keep our chin tucked, and then roll forward. We're going to go ahead and sit up. Go hands and knees and do some core exercises to start. From here, we're going to send our opposite arm and opposite leg out. We're going to hold for about 10 seconds here. Just focus on our breathing. We're about 3 inhales, 3 exhales. And then switch. Make sure your arm and leg are making a straight line. Just looking straight down. Big inhale through the nose, long exhales out through the mouth. From here, we're going to go into the side plank position. Okay, we're going to rest and press into that forearm. So push away from the ground with your head away from the shoulder. We're going to look straight ahead as if we were standing up sideways. And when we get into this position, we're just going to focus on our breathing. We want a straight line from our heels, from our knees to our hips to our shoulders. You can bend the knees at 90 degrees, or you can keep the knees straight. Just focus on your inhales and exhales. And then switch. This is your side plank, short lever is your knees bent at 90, and then long lever, legs straight, looking straight ahead. Straight line here, 3 inhales and exhales. All right, now we're going to do a supine position or on your back. You're going to bring a hand underneath your back. You have a slight arch in the back. From here, we're going to extend one knee, point the toe up, and one knee is bent. From here, we're going to bring the chin off the ground an inch. We're going to take big exhales and long exhales. Inhale, keep the core tight. We're just going to keep the head off the ground and keep our core tight as we hold this position. If it causes any pain in the neck, you can discontinue this one, or you can just hold it for less time. And then relax and back up. And relax. All right, so those 3 were the McGill top 3 exercises for lower back pain, the sunbird, the side plank, and the supine neck sit-up. So next, what we're going to do is start getting into some lower body exercises, starting with the split squat, getting in the half kneeling position with our head in line with our shoulders, hips, and knee. We're going to put most of our weight into that front leg, and we're going to exhale and stand straight up vertically here. We're going to try to keep our knee behind our toe. We're going to exhale on the way up. You can inhale, brace yourself on the way down if you need to. Notice that on my back toe, my heel doesn't go down and up. We're going to go ahead and switch side. Exhale. All right, now we're going to perform our single leg reach. So we're going to reach out in front of us. So imagine an object is about up to our sternum or chest, and it's about 6 feet in front of us, and we're reaching out, trying to touch that. As we do that, we want a straight line from our hand to our heel. And when we come up, we're going to squeeze that glute and stiffen the hamstring. And that is called a single leg reach, okay? So I'm reaching with my one hand, my right hand, with my left leg on the ground. My left arm is going out like a T, okay? Notice that my bottom foot, the toe is going to stay down. It's not going to go out, okay? So I don't want to go out like this and open up my waist. Here we go. We'll do about 5 on each side. 1, control, stick, and spring. Trying to look down or look up. Look where you're trying to reach. 1 more. 5. Okay, now we're going to get into some upper body exercises. So we're going to start with our push-up. We're going to try to do a perfect push-up. So getting in that perfect push-up position, we put our hands underneath our shoulders. We start with our hands and knees. From here, we're going to get into the push-up position. We should be able to hold this steady for at least 10 seconds without moving. From here, our hips are stiff, our core is tight, meaning that all 360 degrees, front, sides, and back, are kind of wrapping us around. So we take, how do we do that? Basically, we take an inhale, and you feel that pressure that goes out. We keep that pressure. So when we breathe, keep that pressure by exhaling as hard as we can, okay? And when we inhale, keep that pressure high. You can start in that push-up position. Squeeze your glutes, heels and toes touch. From here, take an inhale. Slowly lower, nose will almost touch the ground. And exhale up. We're going to go for 10. Round those scaps at the end. Now, if you can control and do that and you have no wrist pain, then that shows that you have one, high wrist pain tolerance and wrist strength, because that does take a lot of load and energy on the wrist. I'm 220 pounds. That's a lot. If you can do that perfectly with that same tempo, with the core in line on the way down and up, that's awesome. It means you have healthy shoulders and strong core. Okay, so we're going to perform the short lever and long lever reverse table. So fingertips forward, toes forward, And we're going to squeeze the glutes, try to get the shoulders in line with the knees through the core. Head can relax back, tuck forward. Can move all around really, just not into pain. I'm going to hold for about 10 seconds. All right, now I'm going to straighten the legs. If it's just too much for my wrists, I'm going to skip this exercise. I'm going to try the same thing with my knees straight for 10 seconds. Here we go. All right. Woo! So if that hurt your wrist, then you definitely have some wrist issues, because if you have strong wrists, then you obviously don't have any issues. Be careful with that one. I can give you some subs for that if that doesn't work. Now we are going to move in to some more strenuous exercises for our last 5 minutes. Let's just do body weight. So that way I don't have to worry about people with some weight issues. All right, so what we're gonna do here is legs are out, feet are out. We're gonna bend the knees, get in this horse stance position, like you're on a horse. In yoga, goddess pose. And you can internally rotate and rotate. And then come back up. A nice little shoulder, hip opener. All right, now we'll do a little bit more advanced exercises starting with Cossack. So the first thing you need to do when learning a Cossack is know how to laterally squat. So the toes should be facing forward. You want to own this first, okay? If you feel like you have to bring your toes out, that is not a lateral squat. That becomes a split squat, okay? So there's a difference working between a sagittal split squat and a frontal plane lateral squat, okay? The toes have to be facing forward. So for me, in order for me to do that, I have to put some shoes on and work with some better strength, okay? My toes are forward. I'm going to perform my lateral squats first, reaching forward, about 3 on each side, okay? Side view. Notice that I still want the same vertical spine as if I were squatting, okay? And it looks like I'm in a squat position, but you wouldn't even realize that my opposite leg is out here. You would think that it looks like that, okay? So that's why it's a one-leg squat in the frontal plane and not just any other type of squat. You can do that 3 reps on each side, and you're probably able to isometrically hold that position. So that would be your next step. Can you hold this position for about 10 seconds, okay? Which is going to take some muscular endurance, okay? So that's inhaling for 3 to 5, exhaling for 3 to 5, or exhaling long as you can as you hold those positions. So are you able to breathe and hold into those positions? So let's try that for 3 inhales, 3 exhales. Inhale, hold, inhale, hold, all right, let's try the other side. All right, if you can do that, no pain, no problem, then you're probably okay to perform a Cossack squat, but you may not have the full range of motion and it could still be too much on your ankles. So to perform that full range of motion Cossack squat, I need a little bit more maneuverability, so I'm going to take my shoes off because I might turn this into a pathway, which means that I need less friction. Okay, and sometimes grippy shoes get in the way of movement, so sometimes it's not as beneficial to move with shoes on. So it's that lateral Cossack squat, it's a hold, and then you're going to turn that toe up. Okay, you should be able to bring the heel off the ground here and hold. Okay, if that causes pain in the knee or ankle, then we're not ready for the next step. Okay, so step 1 is lateral squat, step 2 is the holds, step 3 is the toe goes up and bringing this heel off the ground, because you need to be able to, if you needed to, bring that heel off the ground. If you're not able to do that yet, then you're not going to be strong enough to fault in this position, which may mean that you go onto your toes. So you have to be ready for anything on top of doing it with good form. So if that causes any pain, then you're not ready for step 3. Step 3, deep into your Cossack, toe up. Step 4 is the landing. Okay, so I'm gonna reach out, toe up, and then I'm gonna lower down from my calf will touch first, and then my hamstring, and then my back glute. Okay, if this causes pain, then we're no good here. I should feel fine here. If not, then it's not right. You're not ready for this yet. From here, I press back up into my Cossack. Okay, no weight there, no slow up. Okay, down slow and then right up. Okay, if you get dizzy, you can always go to the kneeling position, child pose position at any time. Okay, so let's perform that Cossack on the other side. So it's a reach, toe goes up. I can point the toe here, calf, hamstring, glute, and then I need to get right back up. Otherwise, I might get stuck in that position, okay? Sometimes I get dizzy, I need to get in the half kneeling position and just relax. That's fine, because going down and up very quickly can also increase blood pressure, just like most exercises increase blood pressure, but these will do it because you're loading so many tissues you don't typically load, and it takes almost max strength in order to perform these movements. And isometric control, stability, mobility. All right, in the ankles, knees, and hips, and spine, and shoulders. Okay, you need all of that. Plus the ribs need to be stacked with the hips while you do that. So let's go with a side view. All right. The next phase is moving from Cossack into other types of movements. So I could go from Cossack to a butterfly, 90-90. I can move that all in different positions. I feel like when I go deep into the Cossack, I load the tissue so much that I'm able to spring out and do some really cool things. So for example, once I load these tissues here in Cossack, I kind of am able to do higher level exercises. I'll show you. Okay, because my body is just telling me, get out of this position. You're bent, and now you need to kind of extend. You're kind of internally rotated. Now you need to externally rotate, or go from this lengthening of the muscles to shortening to the muscles. Okay, so your muscles want to do. So we're going to try the other side. okay? And that's basically like a 1 rep max isometric movement pathway. You can have fun with this. Once you learn the basic positions, you can move in and out of those positions. We call those isometric movement pathways. So look up Jordan Weber isometric movement pathway for more. Check out my mobility playlist. I appreciate it. Thanks.